More than a month after an ABC investigation into the country members' accommodation allowance, the rules are being reviewed. 4 senior Liberals, including 2 government ministers, resigned their positions and tens of thousands of dollars was paid back. Now there's a push to extend the eligibility zone from 75 to 100 kilometres, bringing it in line with the subsidy for country medical patients who have to travel to the city for treatment. Patrick Martin reports.
Goolwa resident Warren Huxtable has been having cancer treatment in Adelaide for the better part of 10 years, something he says wouldn't have been possible without the Fluria Cancer Support Foundation.
It is just wonderful for us who have been told we have cancer to know that we can have this. Not everybody could afford to come here for the treatment.
With no government funding, the foundation relies on volunteers and donations to transport patients like Mr Huxtable.
Some of us can get through and it can be very expensive. Many of us would have to say no and let the cancer take its course.
That's because the Victor Harbor area doesn't qualify for a government subsidy, the Patient Assistance Transport Scheme. But MPs who live in Victor Harbor do get a subsidy for travel, the country members' accommodation allowance. Senior Liberals who live there have pocketed hundreds of thousands of dollars through the allowance, which was being reviewed today. But the ABC wasn't allowed in.
What have you made of all of the
interest? It's not my role to do that, but I'm sure there'll be a statement made later in the day.
The government wants to keep the 75-kilometre boundary for the MP's allowance, but the Greens say it should be 100 kilometres.
I think most people see it as beyond the pale that someone can get over $30,000 of taxpayers' money to fund a Victor Harbor house and an Adelaide house.
Mr Lucas, what do you say to cancer patients in Victor Harbor who don't have their costs subsidised by the PAT scheme, but parliamentarians get subsidised to $30,000 a year?
About PAT scheme, you need to speak to the Minister for Health about the PAT scheme.
The government says the rules for each scheme are set separately, but Warren Huxtable has a clear message for those weighing it all up.
Please help the people that need help, because we can't survive without it.
The new ruling will be delivered soon. Patrick Martin, ABC News, Adelaide.
A convicted